welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. In this one, I want to talk about the novel Steppenwolf by Herman Hesse, and he's becoming quite a popular writer. He's a German writer, I believe, and I guess in his writing we can see a syncretism of various religions. I think this is my interpretation. He has strains of Christian thinking in his works, Gnostic Christian thinking perhaps, Buddhist type thinking, Buddhist ideas, and yes, he's an interesting writer. I've only read one of his works so far. This one here, Steppenwolf, as I just said, and yes, I could really relate to this book. I must say, it reflected my experience, perhaps, and the main character, Harry Haller, is definitely a character who reflects the modern state of man, we could say. Yes, modern man is quite in the West, perhaps. I don't know if it's the same elsewhere, but in the West, I think a lot of men are like Harry Haller. They are perhaps alienated from society. They feel a bit lost, yes, and they start to turn into a person like Harry Haller, yes. And Harry Haller, he's a middle-aged, lonely man who cuts a frustrated figure, for he realizes that his ideals cannot be realized. And a lot of men they think in an idealistic way. They are motivated by idealism, and it can take a while for this idealistic worldview to come into fruition, yes, for their reality to reflect this idealism of theirs that they have within them, yes, because instead of idealism we have this ruthless, cynical world, yes, out there. This ruthless, cynical world that is influenced by the bourgeoisie spirit. And this bourgeoisie spirit is represented by empty values, petty pleasures, monotony, and intellectual stagnation. We are definitely living in these times, but I think it is changing now. Definitely, this is changing. I guess the cyber age, the cyberspace has facilitated this. More access to information, and people are able to shape their own views and to connect with people, with like-minded people. So I think this is changing, which is good. Yes. And Harry Haller, he's a man who doesn't really settle for the life of comfort and order. This bourgeoisie life, we could say. Yes. He doesn't settle for this. He tries to fight against this. I think we all go through this process. I mean, personally, I like the bourgeoisie life as well. I do like it, but then it does get boring, doesn't it? This typical bourgeoisie life, it's the 9 to 5, yes, working somewhere, then going to the gym, and then the same process is repeated again and again. It just gets boring, doesn't it? It's like monotonous. I mean, We all strive to break out of this, yes. But Harry Haller, he struggled, yes. Well, at the moment, I don't remember if he eventually manages to break out of this monotony or not. Perhaps my article will reveal this, because I read this. When did I read this? Yes, well, nearly 2 years ago now. Yes, so I don't remember everything. I can't remember the ending, but Harry Haller, from what I remember, he is not able in the end to break out from this cycle. Yes, to live the life, of a tragic hero or an artist. And here, when I thought when I was reading this, I thought of the steps. Steppenwolf, yes, Steppen. So the steps, yes. So we have the steppes in Asia, yes, in Russia, in Kazakhstan, etc. And these steppes, they don't belong to anyone, right? They're kind of like a no land. No one possesses them, and therefore a figure like Harry Haller, he finds himself in this steppe, metaphorically speaking. Yes, he is in this land. Yes, this no land, kind of empty land. Yes, and he's in limbo. He doesn't know what to do. Yes, he doesn't know. Doesn't know how to break free, perhaps, yes? And therefore, this is why he contemplates suicide. He contemplates suicide, and at the end, to be honest, I don't remember what happens at the end. I don't think he does, actually. In the end, he doesn't, yes. So, I mean, the ending is quite positive, I think. I'll confirm this at the end of my video, because I'm not sure, but anyway, going back now to my article, because I want to read this passage from the book, and this is what Hermann Hesse has to say about the bourgeoisie spirit. Yes, so a man cannot live intensely except at the cost of self. Now the bourgeoisie treasures nothing more highly than the self, rudimentary as his may be. And so, at the cost of his own intensity, he achieves his own preservation and security. His harvest is a quiet mind, which he prefers to being possessed by God, as he prefers comfort to pleasure, convenience to liberty, and a pleasant temperature to that deathly inner consuming fire. The bourgeoisie is consequently by nature a creature of weak impulses, anxious, fearful of giving himself away, and easy to rule. Therefore he has substituted majority for power, law for force, and the polling booth for responsibility. So this is an interesting take on the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie life. I mean, yes, I agree, but at the same time, if we abandon the bourgeoisie life, it'll lead to chaos, yes, like civil war chaos. And I don't know, do we want this? Do we want mass civil war everywhere? In the UK, this could happen. In Poland, this could happen. Yes. Do we want this? Well, why could it happen in the UK? Well, because there's a lot of Muslims, yes, and obviously there's the majority are Englishmen and British people, yes, or Irish mixed with British with English, yes. So potentially there could be, yes, a civil war, but I don't think this is in the interest of society. I don't think so. I think it's better for if people from different ethnic backgrounds, if they don't like each other, they should like settle their differences by debating or by perhaps boxing, for example. Boxing is a good way to kind of be possessed by God, perhaps, yes. And I'm noticing more and more the importance of games, yes, of games such as boxing, etc., because it's a more harmonious way to settle conflict, right? So I think this is kind of my take, yes, on our current problems and how it relates to the book, yes, Steppenwolf by Herman Hesse. So I think ultimately we want law and order, right? We don't want this chaos. I mean, what societal-wide chaos. I don't think we want this, yes, because then everyone loses out, really. I think this is my take. But at the same time, I agree that if we settle for this monotony, life gets boring, right? It gets just boring. So we need to take some risk. And, bet on ourselves for once, yes? So I agree here as well at the same time with Herman Hesse. So yes, from my reading then, Harry Haller, he's on the edge of this bourgeoisie world, its cusp. So, because Harry Haller, he's an outcast, yes? He's kind of on the edge of this bourgeoisie world. Either he can enter it, this warm place of the bourgeoisie, if he stops taking himself so seriously and accepts a dose of humour, he will join this bourgeoisie world, yes? So Harry, it's clear he's like a split figure. He's split in two. He's half human, half wolf. And I see a lot of men on Twitter have pictures of wolves, etc. Yes, like the symbology of the wolf. Yes. I mean, wolves are beautiful animals, aren't they? You look at a wolf. Wolves. Animal. I mean, they're beautiful, aren't they, wolves? Look at this beautiful animal here. The wolf. They are beautiful. So obviously the human is the human side. He's got the human side and the wolf side. Yes, the human side is sublimated nature. It's capable of thought and feeling, whereas the wolfish side is kind of raw, instinctual, savage and cruel. So obviously you need to channel this energy in the right way. Yes. One way of doing this is by going to the gym. Yes, by going to the gym, you just unleash that savage energy. Yes, in the gym, and you sublimate it. So it's important to fuse the two, to make sure that there isn't this split. You want to fuse your human side and your wolf side into a more coherent whole. Yes, this is kind of my take, and. So, okay, now I remember. Okay, so I did talk about the ending here, and I'd like to share this with you. So, as the story draws to a close, we see more and more of Harry's fantasy world, yes? And I actually don't think entering your fantasy is so bad, because it's a defense mechanism, yes? I actually wrote an article about this, about how we enter our fantasy world in order to protect ourselves from the toxic nature of society, yes? Obviously, we don't want to remain in the world of fantasy for too long, but if you're struggling, then entering your world of fantasy, it's not a bad thing. It's a defense mechanism, yes? But obviously, yes, as I just said, you don't want to stay there for too long. And in this fantasy world, Haller, he meets or imagines a variety of characters, yes, such as Mozart, Goethe, Johann Wolfgang Goethe, yes, Pablo, maybe it's Pablo Picasso, I don't know. I think perhaps it's Pablo Picasso. Hermine, I think it's a woman. Maria. And these sexual, these imaginary sexual escapades of his, they give him a sense of youth and freedom again. And it's interesting that at the end, Mozart, yes, so Mozart, obviously the piano player, the famous pianist, I don't know if well, I think it's an allusion to Mozart. Yes, perhaps it isn't Mozart himself, obviously, but uh, Herman Hesse he talks in a symbolic way. Yes, he writes in a symbolic way, and Mozart he reproaches Harry for his stupidity. Yes, he says that Harry's stupid by rejecting the bourgeoisie spirit and criticizing him for his excessive seriousness. And this was interesting. It's like I kind of agree. Yes, if you take yourself too seriously, then you start to push other people away, and you push yourself away. Yes, you become an outcast, which isn't good. Yes, so I think it was a great book. I think it's worth reading, and as it says here in the blurb, it was the hip Bible of the 1960s. Yes, counterculture. So Steppenwolf, it captured the mood of a disaffected generation and a century increasingly unsure of itself. Yes. So yes, I think we are in these times now as well. There's a lot of change taking place, a lot of chaos. We're unsure, yes, what's happening at the moment. So yes, that's the end of my video. I don't want to talk more about this book. I don't want to waste your time. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing. It will help me grow the channel and spread more vital information. But yes, if you're still listening now, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you spending your time here on the JJ Think Tank. You could have spent your time elsewhere, so I'm grateful for this, and I hope you learned something interesting from this video. And yes, that's all for this one. Once again, thank you for listening, and take care.